So the other day when I was filming the quote book part 1, my camera overheated and I was like, I must preserve the life of my friend. And it was audacious of me to think that I could fit all those quotes in one video. So I'm back with the quote book part 2, which if you haven't seen part 1, you don't need to watch them in order. You don't need to watch them at all. This is just like a video where I go through a quote book that was kept in my dorm and reminisce. Ready, go! This one happened when some friends and I were getting ready to go to Caribou to study and drink coffee and whatnot. They were all bundled up in their coats waiting at the door. I was in the kitchen with my French press. I walk out sipping a cup of coffee and they all just give me this look as if to say, "What are you doing? We're going to get coffee. Why are you doing this?" I lower my cup a bit and I say, "I'm pre-gaming." This next one happened when we were eating dinner in the Billy and I had this huge plate of lentils and I wasn't aware of how filling lentils were. So I was just sitting there in my chair kind of like, I'm full. There's just so many lentils here. Danielle reassured me saying, "It was just a little bit too much for you." I remember looking up and saying, "You genius!" And Danielle said, "Just a lentil." So great. This next one comes from the time that I put off doing a 10-page analysis of the film, I'm going to butcher the French, Le Salaire de la Peur, The Wages of Fear. And so I pulled an all-nighter writing that analysis. Came back to my dorm from class and I said to my roommates, "You know, I find it so easy to talk to people when I haven't slept. I find that my inhibitions are tossed to the wind. I should just not sleep all the time. I would have so many friends." This one, this happened late into the night. I was sitting on the floor. This is kind of embarrassing, but I was making farting noises with my mouth. And Haley looks over at me. She's laying on the couch and she says, "You just inspired my butt!" And I said, "Oh." Then Haley farted. It was really funny. This one comes from a time when Hannah was planning out her wedding via speech and she said, "I don't want anyone drunk at my wedding." So I said, "Have biblical wine, so that it's so watered down someone would have to drink a barrel to be drunk." Everyone just looked at me like, what? And so I added, "Or just have barrels of water, and tell them that Jesus is supposed to be coming, but he's just not here yet." But he RSVP'd. That was definitely sacrilegious, but I said that. Let me give you a frame of reference for this next one. I was talking about my love for Paul Thomas Anderson, and Hannah questioned, "Did you just say attractive older male?" And I said, "Yes. He's old. He could be my mom." I was completely just thinking, oh, Paul Thomas Anderson and my mom are probably the same age. But you know what? I bet that Paul Thomas Anderson could fill the traditional gender role of a mother because he is amazing at everything he does. This is a creepy thing, Hannah said, made creepier by the fact that I don't have any context for this quote. She just said, "Grandma's got a sweet tooth. A sweet tooth and sneaky fingers." I wish I knew what that was about. You guys know how much I love pizza. Well, I had made a pizza. Before I ate it, I set it on the chair instead of on top of the table and said, "I put my pizza on a chair instead of on top of the table because it is a guest. A guest that I am going to consume, but a guest that deserves the utmost respect nonetheless." And Danielle looked down at the pizza on the chair and said, "Unfortunately, you will not be a guest for very long in our dorm." And I said, "But you get to party in my tummy with some Coke." I hate the word tummy. And this next one comes from this document that I keep on my computer that contains favorite things that people have said about me to me, which sounds like a really narcissistic document to keep on my computer. I promise it's not. There's only 3 things on it, and they're just for my own personal keeping, but I'm just gonna share one with you because it's funny, and the other ones aren't funny. They're just... I just need them sometimes. This, Hannah said to Danielle and I, in context, Danielle is a psychology major. So Hannah said, "I used to be leery about being friends with psychology majors because I thought that they knew what I was thinking. Then I met Alexis and found out one doesn't need to be a psychology major in order to read my mind." I like to keep that thing that was said about me on file because I often need to be reminded that I am good at communicating and I am good at listening and understanding other people's communication, and it also encourages me to, when I feel nervous and don't want to talk to people out of fear for embarrassing myself, to say to my inner inhibitions, shut up, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then I go and talk to people and I get a huge adrenaline rush and I'm like, what up? I did a thing. Suck it, social anxiety. Yeah. Last quote I'm gonna share with you is something I said to Hannah, and I said, I'm gonna put a horse's head in your bed, and if you would like to hear the entire story of that prank, that's gonna be my next vlog. So, what up? And yeah, that's all I got.